Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner in the Tuesday Night Wars. That being, if you're going to consider it off the ratings, it's going to be, that's right, NXT of WWE. In a rematch that we've all been waiting for, where AEW went head-to-head with NXT. Well, we know when AEW first began is when NXT first went to Wednesday nights, and it was going head-to-head because competition, and NXT would fail and flounder against AEW. But now it's been 3 years. Now it's been a little while, and they had the rematch. Now, I think like you said, we've all been waiting for it. But as always, if you like the video, hit that like, hit that subscribe button, and leave a comment down below what show you tuned into and what show you like better. And I'm going to break down what all this means and a lot of this hate that's been going on. I'm going to break it down too. And I'm going to throw some factual stuff out there and some make you think some stuff. But here's the numbers. So NXT drew in a 921,000 total TV ratings, and with a demographic between 18 and 49, 396,000 of that 900. AEW had 609,000 with 346,000 TV rating from the 18 to 49 age demographic. Now I know that the TV ratings are not what they used to be. I understand all that stuff. I'm not going to get into the little tweaks here and there of what things can mean, but because I'm going to tell you right now, it doesn't matter if it would have been if the numbers would have been reversed. The WWE diehards, they would be saying the same thing that AEW diehards are saying right now, where the ratings ain't this, the ratings ain't that. And let's face it, okay, I've seen all the excuses of, oh yeah, but WWE had to pull out all the big guns, John Cena, Paul Heyman, Asuka, The Undertaker, Shotzi Blackheart, etc., to even compete with AEW. But let's not forget 2 weeks ago on Wednesday, even though they was on 2 different nights, NXT drew in more people as well. I'm not here to bash on either one. What I'm here to bash on today, I'm here to bash on these excuses that people's making. Now, Tony Khan wants to come out and say, oh, well, this is the first time The Undertaker and John Cena have been under 1 million views. Come on, dude. Let's not be petty. You lost the battle. You're trying to find a positive in it. I get it. Maybe you should keep your positives to yourself. Don't do that to your company. All right, don't do that. You're putting a bad image on yourself and the company that you run. Don't do that. You got beat fair and square. And to the haters that's saying, oh, he had to pull out the big guns, well, what do you think would happen if Dynamite competed with WWE on Monday night? Or if they competed on them on a Friday night? What do you think would happen? Because then, are you going to say they're using the big guns like Drew McIntyre and that? This is a developmental brand. And not everyone, not all that 900 and something tuned in just because of the old guys. I watch NXT every week. So you have to ask yourselves, okay, is that a legitimate excuse to use? And by the way, I'm not here to offend anybody. I'm just saying, I want you to think for a minute. This isn't bashing you. I'm just wanting you to think. Would that excuse be valid if they went against them on Monday night? And they don't pull in? It's stuff you got to think about. Ultimately, the fans end up winning in this competition. Ultimately, because of this Tuesday Night War, the fans end up winning. And quite honestly, I've said this before and I'll say it again. I said it in my last video. Tony Khan, as much as I like AEW, he is the one negative in AEW right now. His booking hasn't been great. He books a lot of fantasy matches, and that's great. But what keeps a fan? It's not what draws in a fan. See, a match may draw in a fan, but what keeps a fan involved in wrestling, invested in your product, is the storytelling. Wrestling is all about storytelling. You can have the best matches. When it comes to an all-out wrestling show, absolutely, AEW is the far better pure wrestling show. But if you're going to keep new fans, or gathering and to keep the new fans that tune in, then you have got to begin to build a long tenured story. That's what draws you in. What draws you into a movie? Sure, all the action, that's nice, but you got to have a good story to go with all the action. And that's what AEW is lacking, is the storytelling. They can fantasy book all they want. But eventually you can't fantasy book no more, and you got to tell some sort of story. Championship matches on Championship Night Tuesday, it's all good, but what sense does it make for Saraya to lose a championship right like that? You build her up and then pull the rug right out from under her, whether you hate her or love her. You threw Orange Cassidy into the title mix because Jon Moxley couldn't go, and he wins the international title. Okay, good. So Rey Fenix title reign means absolutely nothing? And yes, titles can change hands whenever they want, but it's just things like that it's like, there's no story build up. It's a random match put together, and I guess you could throw in there that, okay, so the champion, so you never know when the champion is going to lose, which has its lure, but at the same time, you want that champion that's like, man, who's going to be the one to dethrone them? Who's going to be the one to take that title off of them? That's the things. And then throwing the maximum, maybe I don't understand, but the Freeman quarters thing, maybe saying he came from nothing, I guess, maybe, I don't know, but you got to have some story. You got to have something that I can sink my teeth into. But NXT's the winner this week, and I look for them to probably win from here on out with all the negativity that Tony Khan's bringing on AEW.